Okay, so I just saw this new trailer, and though I have mixed feelings, I have to admit,
Yeah, boy.
I love it. I was going into this thing fully expecting a dumpster fire, and I came out with more hope than I could ever have for this. But not for the reasons you might think. And before y'all think I'm crazy for acting like this with only one trailer, hear me out to the end. I promise you I got you. These are the 3 reasons why One Piece just might break Netflix's live action curse. Going from least important to most important. Starting with reason number 1, the characters. Out of every adaptation I've seen from Netflix, the characters casted in this show is by far the closest I've seen to the source material. Now, of course, it's not a perfect one-to-one shot, like Luffy does not capture that same likability that he does in the show, but I still like him. Same thing with Nami and Zoro. Now, actually, Nami, I gotta admit, I like Nami's actor. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think she captures Nami pretty well so far, from what I've seen. And the same thing with Zoro. And yeah, Usopp looks different, like he doesn't have his nose, and he has dreads, and Sanji doesn't have his curly eyebrows. But what makes this casting so interesting is the mix of likable realism. Because I personally do not like how realistic they try to make other movies look. You know what I mean? Like,
No, it's true.
but I do in this one so far. And that's because I understand why they made those changes. I say all of this to say the Straw Hats are made up of almost every single race. That, and combined with all of their personalities, is bound to make the viewers heavily relate to at least one person in the crew. And though I personally don't care about representation and stuff like that, that stuff is really important to most people. So I'll always respect how they feel. That relatability and representation is a huge plus for the show. And low-key, they look real, but at the same time, it's almost like a really good cosplay. So I think it's gonna make the viewer feel like that could be them, like actually there taking the place of the characters. Or they're actually just there alongside the crew. A lot like OG One Piece did for its fans. So yeah, it feels more like a celebration of One Piece than a super serious remake, you know what I mean? And that's really cool. And I think that's gonna gel really well with the general audience, even if the childish undertones can be a little off-putting to new people. Moving on, we have my second reason, that being the scale of the show as a whole. I personally have not seen any live action adaptation other than Full Metal, so I don't know how big it is compared to the others.
Pause.
But there's one thing you cannot deny, and that's the amount of straight up blood, sweat, and tears they put into every piece of the show, or at least the trailer. Like, the hard work definitely does not get unnoticed here. And I can actually see Oda's influence because there's no other mangaka that can capture that nostalgic feeling other than Oda. I don't know if that's a hot take though, so if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Or don't, because I personally like to be right for once, you know what I mean? Now, I can't speak too much on this right now since it's literally the first trailer, but bro, look at Shanks looking at this Sea King. It has its flaws, but it looks gorgeous. It's sticking so closely to the source material. Even if Luffy's stretching looks like Mr. Fantastic from the early 2000s, we can look past that because the sets and special effects look solid. The actors are, so far, capturing the crew's personalities really well. And I think it will definitely bring in so many people because it just looks like a good show that makes you want to chase your own personal dreams, you know? And that's cool. But even if new people aren't attracted to the show, it doesn't have to worry because it will always have the support of the OG fans. The fans are going to stick by the show no matter what I think. And that's because of the success of the first trailer and Oda's cosign. We're going to deeply appreciate everything the show has to offer, laugh at the terrible parts, and still try and convince someone to watch it the very day it airs because One Piece has the most loyal, devoted fan bases in all of anime history. So having the fans on this show's side will do wonders for its overall performance. And if the show turns out to be not that good, every single episode will still be watched and praised in some way, shape, and form because of the hundreds and thousands of One Piece fans there are. So yeah, man, I honestly believe One Piece is gonna break Netflix's live action curse. I genuinely do. And I'm not saying the adaptations after this one will be good because it most likely won't, but Netflix can learn a whole lot from this experience. If they take the time to really understand why this show's live action did so well, then I'm sure they can make other, even better adaptations. if and only if they take the time to do their research. I honestly can't wait for this show to start, and I'm definitely gonna cover it on this channel if you're all interested, because this is right up my alley, bro. Like, I've been watching One Piece since middle school, so yeah. And like and subscribe if you're excited for the show.